Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take sources you send us and, well, we dig into them for the best bits.
That's the plan.
Today, we're looking at Tokyo neighborhoods. We've got this really interesting article from moveandstay.com.
Ah, yes, moveandstay.com. They've been around for ages, haven't they? Helping business folks, expats.
Yeah, over 25 years. Basically, helping people find places in Asia could be for a day, a week, a month, flexible stays.
Right. And so for this deep dive, our mission, if you like, is to explore the character of these different Tokyo spots based on what this article says.
Exactly. Think of it as reconnaissance.
Yeah.
If you're thinking of visiting or maybe even moving there for a bit.
Getting that insider feel before you commit or even before you browse somewhere like moveandstay.com to find a place. What makes each area tick?
Totally. And this article covers a real mix. You've got the super busy places, the more chill ones.
It's something for everyone, hopefully. It seems like understanding these differences is key to picking the right spot for your stay.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, let's jump in. First up, Shibuya. The name alone just sounds energetic.
It really does. The article from moveandstay.com paints it as, energetic, youthful, where trends are born, basically.
It's like the pulse of modern Tokyo.
Pretty much. It's described as an experience, not just a location. You can almost feel that constant motion.
And the nightlife sounds intense.
Yeah.
Neon everywhere, the article says.
Oh, yeah, dazzling. Loads of bars. Apparently some are really tiny, almost hidden away.
Right. There was that anecdote, wasn't there? Someone having the best highball ever in some little backstreet place.
Exactly. That kind of authentic find. Plus karaoke, of course. You can't talk Tokyo nightlife without karaoke.
A must-do, they say, and Shibuya Crossing. Just watching the crowds.
The sheer spectacle of it. The article calls it the world's busiest intersection, and just people watching there is an event in itself.
But it's not just nightlife, is it? Daytime Shibuya has its own thing going on.
Definitely. The moveandstay.com piece really stresses its role as a shopping hub, especially for fashion.
Shibuya 109 comes up. That's huge for young women's fashion. Right?
Iconic. Then Shibuya Parko, more art and culture focused. And Center Guy.
Oh, that pedestrian street. Packed, apparently.
Absolutely rammed. Just wall-to-wall shops and people.
Sounds like you could easily spend a whole day and a lot of money just shopping.
You probably could. But the article balances that. It also mentions the cultural side.
Like the Hachiko statue, the loyal dog.
Yeah, the famous meeting spot, a real symbol. And then, complete contrast, Meiji Jingu Shrine.
A peaceful oasis right nearby.
Exactly. It shows that even in the middle of all that buzz, you can find quiet moments. It's a really important counterpoint.
So Shibuya is this blend of crazy energy, fashion, culture, and, well, crowds.
That sums it up pretty well based on the article.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Shinjuku. The article calls it a neon wonderland.
Another very vivid description. It sounds like sensory overload almost.
Tall buildings, flashing lights, constant activity.
Yeah, the article emphasizes the scale of it. Skyscrapers, neon, just this relentless energy, a place where you can find pretty much anything.
And then there's Shinjuku Station, the busiest in the world.
That's what the moveandstay.com article states. The numbers are just staggering. Over 3.5 million people daily?
3.5 million. That's like the population of Berlin passing through one station every day.
It's mind-boggling. And what, over 36 platforms? You'd think it'd be chaos.
Utter pandemonium. But no.
But apparently, it's surprisingly navigable. The article credits that classic Japanese efficiency.
Which is amazing in itself.
Yeah.
Managing that flow of people.
It really is. And Shinjuku isn't just the station, obviously. It's a massive entertainment center, too.
Right. Kabukicho gets a mention. Lively nightlife there.
Very lively. Quirky attractions, too. And Golden Guy.
Ah, those tiny little bars, right?
Yeah.
Old Tokyo feel.
Exactly. Super atmospheric. And then Shinjuku Nichome, the heart of the LGBTQ plus scene. The article mentions Adam Shinjuku, too, part of that club scene.
So loads of different entertainment zones packed together.
Yeah.
And food.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
From Michelin stars down to cheap, amazing ramen.
And Omoid Yokocho, memory lane.
Yeah, Yakitori Alley, basically. Great for grilled skewers and beer. Plus, those incredible department store food basements, Depachika.
Right. And electronics, too. If you need a gadget, head to Shinjuku.
Seems like it. A real hub for shopping, eating, entertainment.
But again, like Shibuya, there's an escape mention.
Yes, Shinjuku-gyoen National Garden. A big, beautiful park.
It has different styles. English, French, Japanese.
Right. A proper sanctuary away from the neon and the crowds. Shows that balance again.
Okay, from neon wonderland to something completely different. Asakusa. The article talks about an old-school Tokyo vibe.
Yeah, that's the term they use. More traditional Shitamachi feel, it says.
Shitamachi. That's like the old downtown areas.
Kind of, yeah. Narrow streets, a sense of history. A reminder that Tokyo isn't all skyscrapers and flashing lights.
And the big draw is Sensoji Temple.
Tokyo's oldest temple, apparently, founded way back in 628 AD.
Wow. It was rebuilt after the war, the article notes, but it's still a huge symbol.
Of peace and resilience, yeah. Sounds like a really important historical anchor for the city.
And the approach to the temple, Nakamisadori, that's a market street.
That's right. Used to sell things for the temple, now it's full of souvenirs, street food, little trinkets. Sounds really lively.
And then there's another street mentioned, Kappabashi,
Mm-hmm.
for restaurants.
Yes. That sounds fascinating. An entire street selling everything a restaurant could need. Knives, pottery.
Those plastic food samples, you see them everywhere.
Exactly. Apparently that's the place to get them. A very unique, specialized kind of shopping.
And the article also suggests ways to kind of soak up the traditional atmosphere.
Yeah, like renting a kimono, taking a rickshaw ride,
Oh, cool.
or seeing traditional dance performances. It positions Asakusa as a place to really connect with Tokyo's history. Slow down a bit.
It provides that contrast, doesn't it, between the hypermodern and the deeply traditional.
Absolutely. Very different pace and perspective on Tokyo.
Let's move to another area that sounds a bit calmer, Ibisu. Relaxation and refinement, according to the moveandstay.com article.
That sounds appealing. It's often called one of the more livable neighborhoods.
More laid back.
Yeah, the article highlights that. A good mix of homes and businesses, lots of green space apparently, and it's got that connection to Yebisu beer.
The brewery history.
Yeah.
It's actually in Shibuya Ward, isn't it? That sounds nothing like Shibuya itself.
Right. Completely different vibe, much more relaxed.
And cafes seem to be a big thing there.
Lots of them mentioned. Charming ones, traditional, modern, many with outdoor seating. Good for people watching, the article suggests.
Paints a picture of a nice neighborhoody feel.
It does, and parks too. Yebisu Garden Place is mentioned built where the brewery used to be.
So it's got gardens, restaurants, a beer museum even.
Apparently so. And views from the tower there too, so you still get the city perspective, but from a calmer base.
It also talks about artisan shops.
Handmade crafts, local produce, unique things, pottery, textiles. It mentions a special atmosphere in these shops.
Sounds less about big brands, more about curated, maybe local finds.
Exactly. It feels positioned as a more mature, perhaps more authentic Tokyo experience. Slower paced.
Interesting. Okay, brace yourself. Next is Harajuku, epicenter of youth culture, says the article.
Right, back to high energy. This is where youth trends explode, apparently. Constant change.
Trends born and discarded really quickly.
That's the impression. If you want to see what's happening right now with young people in Tokyo, Harajuku's the place. A sensory overload, the article warns.
And the fashion. Takeshita Street is the famous one,
It's
isn't
the
it?
heart of it. Boutiques, crepes, all sorts of styles. Lolita, punk, whatever's new.
And then just nearby, Omotesando Avenue, which is completely different.
Totally. Tokyo's Champs-Élysées, they call it. High-end designer stores.
Wow, talk about contrast within the same neighborhood.
It really shows the diversity of youth expression, I suppose. High fashion next to street style. It's not just about clothes, it's the whole scene.
And the cafes sound wild.
Themed cafes, yeah. Animal cafes, kawaii cafes. The Kawaii Monster Cafe gets a specific mention.
And the robot restaurant nearby, too. Though that's technically Shinjuku, I think.
Close enough to be part of that whole over-the-top experience vibe, maybe. The article stresses these are immersive experiences, not just coffee shops.
It also adds a note about being respectful, doesn't it? With photos and things.
Yeah, an important point. It's a spectacle, but it's also a real neighborhood and culture. Respect is key.
And pop culture is huge there. Anime, manga, K-pop.
Absolutely. Merchandise everywhere. Cosplayers in Yoyogi Park nearby. It's like the physical manifestation of current Japanese entertainment trends.
So a whirlwind of fashion, pop culture, and just energy.
That definitely seems to be the takeaway for Harajuku.
All right, shifting tone again. Let's talk Ginza. Luxury and elegance.
Yes, a very different feel. Sophistication is the key word here.
High-end shopping central. It mentions its history, too. A silver mint.
Right. Ginza relates to silver, so a history connected to wealth and commerce, leading to its current status.
And the shopping sounds serious.
Yeah.
Big international designer flagships.
Yep, and iconic Japanese department stores like Mitsukoshi, Matsuya,
Itoya, the stationery store, gets a name check. And Ginza 6.
which sounds like a destination in itself. Avant-garde fashion, Amazing food hall.
It paints a picture of real top-tier retail, and dining follows suit.
Seems so. Michelin-starred places, fancy cafes, elegant tea rooms, a refined, maybe expensive culinary scene.
But it's not all shopping and eating. There's art too.
Yeah, the article mentions art galleries. Shiseido Gallery, one of the oldest in Japan.
And others like Pola Museum Annex, Ginza Graphic Gallery.
Right, suggesting a smaller, maybe more intimate art experiences compared to huge museums, often special exhibitions.
So Ginza offers that polished, high-end, cultured slice of Tokyo.
Precisely. A very specific, luxurious atmosphere.
Okay, last stop on our tour. Akihabara, Otaku Paradise, declares the MoveAndStay.com article.
Can't get much clearer than that. It dives right into this specific subculture.
Electric town. Sounds like another sensory overload, but different kind.
Definitely. Manga, anime, video games, electronics, just layers upon layers of it. A unique world. Otaku, for those listening, usually means someone with really intense interests, often in anime or games.
And for fans of that stuff, it sounds like heaven. Shops dedicated to specific series.
Figurines, posters, collectibles, everything. Cosplay is part of the scene, too. Anime Akihabara, Mandarake Complex, Gamer's Main Store are highlighted as key spots.
A real pilgrimage site for fans. But it's also big for electronics in general, right?
Yes, from the very latest gadgets to vintage stuff, duty-free is mentioned too. Good for visitors.
A tech geek stream as well, then.
Pretty much, and the themed cafes there sound unique.
Maid cafes are the famous ones, I guess.
Those and others like Gundam cafes. The article talks about immersive experiences, themed food, staff in costume.
Really leaning into the fantasy. The article ends by saying, walking through Akihabara is like stepping into a video game.
Which sounds like a perfect description. It's about fully embracing those specific passions, finding your niche.
Wow. Okay, that was quite a journey through Tokyo's neighborhoods. A huge range.
Absolutely. From Shibuya's buzz to Akihabara's otaku focus, Asakusa's history, each one is so distinct.
And that really underscores the value of something like MoveAndStay.com, doesn't it? They've spent, what, over 25 years helping people find the right spot in Asia by understanding these local nuances.
Exactly. Knowing the character of a place is so important when you're deciding where to stay, whether it's for a few days or a few months. This article gives a great taste of that for Tokyo.
So this deep dive hopefully gives you, our listener, a bit of a head start understanding these key areas.
Yeah, it helps narrow things down. If you are planning a trip, maybe using a service like MoveAndStay.com, you now have a better idea of what kind of vibe might suit you best.
Which leads to our final thought. Out of all these places we've just talked about, which one really grabs you? What kind of Tokyo experience are you looking for?
Is it the energy, the tradition, the luxury, the niche culture? Something to ponder.
Maybe check out MoveAndStay.com. See what places are available in the neighborhood that piqued your interest. Until next time, keep exploring.